Live. All right, it says we're live. Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Three Market Minds. I'm Bill with an Agaloo and Abdu. Welcome back. All right. Let's do the disclaimer real quick. Oopsie. Let me turn this up. Okay. There we go. This is not financial advice. Turn that off. Okay. Okay. This is not financial advice. This is purely for entertainment purposes. Do your own research. Alrighty. Great. And then let's look at the agenda. So we'll answer questions. I just took a look at the previous live streams. I didn't see any questions. But if you have any questions, just leave them in the comments on YouTube, and we will make sure to answer your questions. Okay, so we'll review the stock market, crypto market. We have a couple discussion points. I want to talk about how I participated in the SpaceX IPO because I was actually able to buy SpaceX at the IPO price, and I'm going to go over how I was able to do that. And then discussion point number two, we're going to talk about stock picking, right? It's very important. Picking the right stocks in the right sector is very, very important. Alrighty, so okay, so where should we start? Should we just take a quick look at the charts? Should we just how about we start there?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. All right, I'm going to share my screen. We'll do trading view. Okay, let me pull up the SPY, and then I got to share at home. So I got to share on WBS so people can see us at home. Alrighty, I think that looks good. Okay, we are sharing trading view. Let me just get rid of that, and let me do this and this. Alrighty, so we're looking at the SPY right now. So we did have a pullback. We did have a pullback from the all-time highs in the SPY, but we seem to have bounced. And me and Anagalu, we were talking about the bounce here, and I'm showing a Fibonacci retracement, right? And it looks like the SPY bounced on the first level retracement at 23.6%. So from the previous low, right, the most recent low, which is all the way down here at 631 or so, we've retraced 23% from the high. And also there's kind of a gap right here. There's kind of a gap right here. So there's a couple things to bounce that the market bounced off of, right? From a technical point of view. Technically bounced off the 23% retracement and bounced off of the gap here. Fundamentally, what happened, I don't know. I don't know. I guess maybe there's like some progress in the peace talks with Iran. Maybe that's what could have triggered it. What do you guys think? What do you guys see with the SPY?
I think it's a correction from it had a rough week for the most part, right?
Hmm.
And so it's bound to have some correction.
Yeah. So just a technical
Yeah.
correction.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of feeling that way too. This is more of a technical bounce, and I don't really think that we're close to the AI bubble popping. What do you think, Abdu? Can you see the screen okay?
Yes, I can. Yeah, I think it's combined the correction, not like entirely like a huge correction, but a pullback, and also the positive news kind of gave it a little bit of a boost. So it's just the combination of those two that helped it on Friday.
Yeah. Okay. What do you guys want to look at next?
Some of the usual stocks
Okay.
first, and then if there's any new ones.
Yeah, let's take a look at Nvidia. So Nvidia is still kind of, it's still doing its whole sell-off thing from post-earnings, right? It's post-earnings sell-off. We were talking about how Nvidia usually sells off after earnings recently. Um, But I think maybe it's finally found a bottom, right? It's put in 2 green candles. So hopefully we'll get back to all-time highs soon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let's take a look at Microsoft because Microsoft is really interesting. I did not expect. So Microsoft has had 10 days in a row of red candles after it touched the 52-week moving average. I was really surprised about this. I did not expect it to go down every day for 2 weeks straight, and think it's I think it's ready to turn around. I really do. What do you guys think?
With Microsoft, it's kind of hard to tell, honestly. But it's it's a good pullback and good opportunity to get into it.
Yeah, yeah, we were talking about how it's making a what's called like it's making a homing pigeon pattern. It's making a homing pigeon pattern. That's where you got like 2 red candles, but the body of the second red candle is inside the previous one. But it's not going to mean anything unless we print a green candle on Monday. So we got to see what happens Monday. And so Microsoft is it's a service as a software stock, among other things, but it really is like the biggest service as a software stock. And so it's definitely been dragging down all the other software SaaS stocks, as they call them. So like ServiceNow is another one we've been watching, and you can see it's the same thing. It's just been going down for like 2 weeks straight. I think we're really close to I think this is a good entry point for ServiceNow. I actually started a position in ServiceNow last week. Um, I sold some of my
Yeah,
yeah, oh yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
no, I was just saying, as we were talking earlier, very similar to Microsoft.
Uh-huh.
The
Yeah, and ServiceNow, I mean, as long as Microsoft is going down, ServiceNow is just it's not going to go up. So we got to see Microsoft. I think we got to see Microsoft go up before we can see ServiceNow start to move. Um,
Can we look up Meta?
oh yeah, I haven't looked at Meta in a while. Let's
Yeah.
see what is Facebook doing. I'm still not used to calling it Meta, right? And I think didn't they abandon all the metaverse stuff that they were working on? But except for the name, they kept the Meta name. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm not sure if they did.
um,
I mean,
yeah,
no, they still well, the technically, I think the smart glass is kind of something, the AR glasses, something similar to that, right?
now they're still in AI. I know they're still in AI.
Yeah,
I think AI now is like a big focus for them. I don't know what they're doing with the metaverse thing. But you remember that? Remember that? It was like going to be a whole
yeah, I
big
do. I definitely
virtual
do.
reality world. And they were advertising how people, we would, in the future, it would all just be virtual meetings, right? And we have an avatar in the virtual world, and we would just do all of our business meetings and using these avatars and stuff. But um, anyway, I think their focus now is more AI. Anyway, what do you see? What do you see, Abdu, with the face with
Um,
Meta?
so you think it will have more down? It will go more down, or it's gonna have a rebound?
I think if it does go down, like the lowest it'll go down is maybe 520, right? I don't see it. I don't really see it breaking below. Maybe it'll fill this gap that's down here, but I don't really see it, falling off a cliff or anything. It is below the
Uh,
200-day moving average, the 52-week moving average, and that'll act as like a magnet. So yeah, I think it'll come back up, especially if well, let's see what happens Monday. If the market rallies on Monday, because maybe there's finally some lasting peace deal, um, then yeah, I could see Meta rallying.
so
Yeah.
it's ranging, right? Like between
Yeah,
I would say 520 to
800.
660 or some, yeah, something like that.
Yeah, it depends how far
So
you go back,
yeah, how far out you are.
but yeah,
So
it's been
that's
ranging
the
for a
for a
while.
while. So if you get in around like around now, there's a high likelihood that it will go back up. Like if you're trading it,
Yeah.
so at least around 700.
So I kind of see like a big diamond pattern forming here. This is a really
Yeah.
ugly diamond, but it does seem kind of range bound.
Yeah.
And then it just depends on which way is it going to break. Is it going to break up? Is it going to break down? So
Hmm.
we got to see what happens. But yeah, this is an interesting one to keep an eye on. And it's one of the Mag 8, right? So it's definitely worth watching. Whoops, shoot, I gotta just drawing all over this. Okay, anything else you see about with this one?
That's it. That's pretty much it for me. Then we can look at SpaceX.
Yeah, yeah. Well, SpaceX isn't that interesting because it's just one big candle, right? So that's
True.
it. That's SpaceX. That's the SpaceX chart. Woo. Well, I'm showing the daily, but I can show the here, I'll show the 30-minute. There you go. There's some
Oh
more
wow.
interesting stuff. Um no, it was great. It was great. Like I was saying, actually this is good okay, this is good lead into the SpaceX. So yeah, like I was saying, I was able to participate in the IPO. So originally, I think last week I mentioned to you guys, I was saying that I was going to wait 6 months before buying the SpaceX IPO. Now, the reason I changed my mind, the reason I wanted to participate in the IPO is because SpaceX, they came out with a set price, a set IPO price, $135, which valued SpaceX at like 1.78 trillion. And SpaceX is a $2 trillion company, if not more, if not a two, maybe even I would say even 2.2 trillion. So buying it at 135 is a good deal, and that's why I decided to participate in the IPO because if I could get it, I knew it was just going to go up. So let me show you guys what I did. Okay, so let me stop showing Trading View, and now I'm going to show Fidelity. Ah, there it is. Okay. Oh, and then I got to show on Zoom. Okay, I'm going to share on Zoom. Stop sharing. So let me share my Fidelity screen on Zoom. Okay. All right. All right, cool. So you guys can see my Fidelity screen?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so I blocked out all my account information. Um, and so it's everything I'm showing, it's safe to show. Okay. So yeah, so once I heard the IPO price was going to be $135, I decided to participate. And so the way you do it on Fidelity is you go to news and research, you go to IPO, or another way to do it is you just search for their IPO calendar. That's another way to do it. So you just select IPO, there it is, IPO calendar. So you open that up. Unfortunately, they don't have anything right now listed. There's no IPOs coming up. But when I did it last week, they had two. They had SpaceX and then there was another company. And so then I selected SpaceX, and they asked, okay, how many shares do you want? And I just decided to put 10. I just said 10, and then I submitted. And then what they said to do was the day before the IPO, so like Thursday evening, they said to go back to this website, and then you click on indications of interest, and it would list my the 10 shares I wanted, and it would ask like, okay, do you really want these? And you say yes, and then you have to move in enough cash to pay for the stocks. So it was 10 that I requested, and they're 135 each, and so I moved in like, well, that money I moved in like 1,300, 1,350. I think I moved in like 1,400 just to have some extra money in cash, and then that was it. And then Friday morning, like 5 a.m., I woke up and I took a look at my screen. Hold on, let me show this real quick. I took a look at my phone, and it went through. And I'm showing actually, well, you guys can't see it, but I sent you. I think I sent you a
At what
text
price did it
message.
go through?
It was at 135. That was the only price. So
Wow.
the
You actually
IPO,
got it with the right price?
well, because I was participating in the IPO, I
Oh,
got to
okay.
purchase at the IPO price. And the IPO price, there was only one price, $135. So yeah, that was the only price that was the only thing that mattered was how many did I get, because not everybody got this many shares. I was watching on YouTube and Twitter, and I mean, some people they wanted like 500 shares, and then they only got one. Or if you were on Charles, or it seemed like Fidelity had more shares than the other brokerages, because I think Fidelity was a very early investor in SpaceX, so they might have had more shares available. And then I also heard some stuff a few months ago saying that if you were a Tesla owner, or if you own Tesla stock, you might get um, more shares than other people that don't. So I was pretty happy. I got 10 shares. Some people only got like one or two. And then you get it at the IPO price. So I got all my 10 at 135. And then it didn't start trading. So I watched Friday morning. I watched them ring the bell, the Nasdaq bell, and then it started trading like at 9 o'clock. And then at 9 o'clock, it opened. Let me open up TradingView again. It opened at like 150, right at 9 o'clock. And then okay, actually let me stop sharing on Zoom. I'm gonna go back to sharing TradingView so we can look at the chart. Um, yeah, so it opened at like 150, and then it got all the way up to like 175 at one point. And then it closed at like 161, and I think it was up a few bucks after hours. So yeah, that was great. That was the first IPO that I'd ever participated in, and it went great. But I mean, how many how many SpaceX IPOs are there going to be? Well, actually, there's going to be a couple other IPOs this year that are going to be similar to SpaceX, and it's going to be Anthropic and OpenAI. I mean, those guys are coming too. Um, if I could only participate in one of those, I would do Anthropic. And you know what? And I think I will. I think I will see if Fidelity is offering any Anthropic shares during the IPO, and maybe I'll just buy like another 10 or something. But anyway, you guys, any questions? What do you guys think?
I was pretty surprised, to be honest with you. I didn't really think it would go up that much. Uh, so it's well, congratulations.
Yeah, thanks. I mean, it's not that
Yeah.
much money. For me, I'm planning on holding this until 2030, so I'm just going to keep
Mhm.
adding. But I'd never participated in an IPO, so I think that's what I was more excited about, was just going through the process. And then, like I was saying, at a price at $135, it gives SpaceX a valuation of about 1.8 million, and it's a $2 trillion company, or more, 2.2. So
Yeah.
I felt like I was getting it at a good price.
So what do you think, uh, like of what kind of precedent would that set for Anthropics and OpenAI?
Really good precedent, a really good
Yeah.
precedent, right? Because there was a lot of questions about whether there was enough capital, enough money out there to support such a big IPO.
Yeah.
And so I think it's setting a really good precedent for those two. And I get the feeling I think Anthropic is going to go public before OpenAI. And yeah, and like I said, if I could only choose one, I would just go with Anthropic. Um, you know what? There's another thing I wanted to show you. I wanted to show you guys what's going on with pre-stocks. But Abdu, any questions before I move on to pre-stocks? You got any questions about the IPO, the SpaceX IPO?
Me?
Yeah. Any questions about it?
No, that's great. Congratulations getting those. Like you said, I also watched saw a lot of people on YouTube complaining. Like
Yeah,
some people ask for like 500 and get like, I don't know, like five or something.
yeah.
um, yeah, so that's yeah, that's amazing. Um, uh, does this mean like the demand is still high and then the stock most likely gonna go up after this?
I'm not sure which way the stock's going to go, to be honest. I think if the valuation, like if the valuation drops below 2 trillion, I think that's a really good buy. So that's what I would keep an eye out for, right? So if it drops below, oh, I don't know, 150, 140, I think that's a good buy. Definitely if it goes back to the IPO price, that's a good buy. Um, but anyway, let me because I talked about pre-stocks before, and I wanted to follow up on that discussion. So remember what I was telling people? I said that I thought it was too late to invest in SpaceX, Anthropic, OpenAI with pre-stocks. And also another thing I mentioned was that I was very concerned about how pre-stocks would handle the IPO. And well, they handled it really badly. And you can see, you can see right now because the SpaceX token
Oh,
price is at
oh, it's still
116.
there.
Oh yeah, it's still there. It's still there. And I'll explain why. So the SpaceX token price is at $116, whereas the actual price of SpaceX is 167. So that's not good. That's not good. And the reason it's down so low is because they will not let you convert the pre-stock token into a SpaceX token for another 6 months. So you have to wait 6 months after the IPO, and then you can convert it. That said, though, what is this? Okay, yeah, so here, right here, it's saying SpaceX is going public. Tokens must be swapped to SpaceX X, which is the X stocks tokenized version of SpaceX. So it must be done by March 12th, 2027, or it expires worthless. So in 6 months, they will be able to convert these tokens, these SpaceX pre-stock tokens, into a SpaceX tokenized share. So there is an opportunity here, right? Because if you think that SpaceX is not going to go down and it's just going to go up from here, you could actually buy the SpaceX pre-stock at 116, hold it for
Man.
6 months, and then convert it to SpaceX, and then you're going to get like a big, 30% premium, right? Or something like that. But it's so risky. It's so risky because what if SpaceX goes down more? This will go down even more. Um, anyway, so people are not happy with the way that pre-stocks with the way that pre-stocks is converting their pre-stocks shares into actual shares of the stock, right, or tokenized shares of the stock, because they don't want to wait 6 months. And it took down Anthropic, it took down all the SpaceX stocks dropped, and I actually sold my Anduril and Neuralink. I got out of those. And I converted them to Ondo because I was a little concerned about how they were handling the conversion. Um, but we'll see. We'll see. I mean, if these SpaceX pre-stocks drop below $100, I might buy a couple and then hold it for 6 months and convert it. Anyway, sorry. What are you gonna say? Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say Android is another interesting one to me. It's like it's a new coming to the defense stock. I mean to the defense companies.
The Anduril pre-stock.
Yeah,
Yeah, and it didn't
if they
drop.
ever go public.
Yeah, and it didn't drop a ton like SpaceX and Anthropic and OpenAI dropped a ton last week. It didn't drop that much. I just wanted to get my money out of it because there was so much, there was a lot of negativity about pre-stocks. People were not happy. They were not happy at all about the way they were converting the pre-stocks to actual stocks. So I just wanted to get
So,
my money out.
sorry. So, uh, even after it goes public, it just becomes it stays there, and then it will just stay there as a tokenized version, like for
Well, what you do is in 6 months, you can sell your SpaceX pre-stock
yeah.
for the SpaceX tokenized stock from X
So that's
stocks.
not really, I guess it's not a pre-stock anymore after that. It just hold on to it.
Yeah, after that, well, once you convert it to the SpaceX tokenized version, then
Yeah.
it'll act exactly
Where,
like
where
the
does that
stock share.
trade? The tokenized version.
Oh, do it on Jupiter Exchange.
So from here or from,
Well, no, you
is
have
it
to go on.
continuous process?
You have to go on the Solana blockchain.
Uh-huh.
And then there's an exchange on the Solana blockchain called Jupiter, and then you exchange it there. And that's what I did when when I had to convert my XAI to SpaceX, I did it on
Yeah.
the Jupiter exchange. All I did was I I just selected my XAI and I said, okay, convert it to SpaceX, and there was a ratio that they put in, right? You get this many SpaceX for this many XAI. It's already plugged in. You can only do one conversion rate. And so they'll do the same thing with the SpaceX. Well, it'll just be one for one. You submit one SpaceX pre-stock, and then you get one SpaceX X stock digital or tokenized version of the SpaceX share.
Okay.
Yeah. But I can show you if you want to, if you're interested in it, I can show you how to do it. I can show you how to do it later. If you're interested in buying any of these, yeah, just contact me. We can do it. We can do it offline. I'll show you how to do it. But for me, I think it's just kind of risky right now because, like I said, there's just a lot of negativity around pre-stocks. I was going on Twitter and people were really unhappy about the pre-stock token share being so much lower than the actual SpaceX shares of SpaceX. So I was like, I'm going to get my money out of this. And I decided to buy some Ondo.
Safety first.
Yeah, you want to preserve capital, right? You want to preserve capital. You don't exactly. Okay. What do you guys want to talk about next? Do you want to look at some other charts, or do you want to talk about? Well, I'll start sharing the charts again. You guys want to talk about picking stocks?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'll let you take over. Talk about picking
So I
stocks.
know just basically I was kind of looking into it with ChatGPT with that one, how to like pick stocks and or the thing is like something about capital rotation. So, trying to see if you can anticipate which way the capital is going to flow. So I was asking it, is it possible to predict, so like for example, there's a SpaceX right now, right? There's a lot of money going in there. Does that mean people withdraw from certain stocks and go there, or vice versa? So what the ChatGPT is saying is that it's not really like that. It's more sector based. So it goes from like 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 from crypto to AI to I guess like metaverse or whatever, that's how you got to look at it. And then it gave an analogy of as the the sectors being like the current, the stocks being like a boat, and so you want to like kind of like look at it that way when you pick these stocks. And then the timing is where I guess where it's very important, like how to get in. That's where the technical analysis, kind of what we try to do here.
Technical and fundamental.
Fundamental,
You gotta use
absolutely.
both.
Yeah,
You really,
yeah,
because when I first started investing, I thought you could just do technical analysis, just do TA and then everything. Forget you don't need to do fundamental. Nope. No, you need to do both. You need to understand both. Um, but yeah, you're right. You're right. There are rotations. A lot of people on crypto Twitter were
yeah,
complaining that they were saying that crypto was getting sold so that people could buy SpaceX, right? Or crypto was being sold this last year so people could invest into AI because the AI gains have just been so ridiculous the last 6 months. That said, no, we do know about the crypto cycles, right? We do know about the 4-year cycle. We know we're in the middle of a bear market right now. And the bear market, a lot of people think the bottom is in with Bitcoin. Um, Actually, let me show the Bitcoin chart because all right, I'm gonna share the chart again. Is this sharing trading view? Okay, so we know that we know that we're in a bear cycle right now. We're in the bear year, and some people think that the bottom is in for Bitcoin for that's interesting. What am I showing? Oh, I'm still on the 30-minute chart. Okay, let me go back to the day. Let me go back to the daily. All right, now I gotta fix this. All right, okay, so Unfortunately, we did just put in a new low for the year for 2026. We got to about 59,000, but it does seem like we're bouncing. So maybe that was a bottom. At the very least, crypto winter, right? The bear market will end in October. And then after October, we should see money start to rotate into crypto. So, where's it going to rotate from? Well, maybe it'll be rotating in from AI. It's hard to say, right? Where is that money going to come from? That's a good guess. So maybe, towards the end of the summer, we should start thinking about selling some of our AI stocks and rotating them into crypto. But it's hard to say, right? It's so hard. It's not just the timing you have to be good at, you also have to be good at picking the right stocks. Now for crypto,
Yeah.
it's pretty easy. Crypto, just buy Bitcoin. Just buy Bitcoin. I mean, Bitcoin's at like 64,000. The all-time high is 126,000. So you got at least, you can at least double your money. So Bitcoin's pretty easy, but the timing's hard, right? The timing is hard. So that's why you got to like DCA. You just start doing dollar cost averaging. So maybe now is a good time to start doing some dollar cost averaging into Bitcoin. And then you just keep buying. I don't know, maybe every 2 weeks or something, you buy some more Bitcoin. I'll tell you what. I have been selling some of my Nvidia, and rotating it into other things. Like I sold some Nvidia to buy hood. Let's take a look at the hood chart real quick because it's
It is
doing
doing
well,
good.
right? It's doing good, right? Still, it looks like it's about to break out of this diamond pattern, like completely break out of it. So that's an example of a rotation, right? I'm rotating some of my Nvidia money into hood. So hopefully that'll work out. So far it has worked out. But rotation, I mean, I'm glad you brought this up because rotation is really important. You don't want to have all your money into a single sector, right? Like years ago I had all my money into crypto, and that was a really bad strategy because when crypto started selling off, I would lose 20, 30, 40% of my entire portfolio. So this last year, I rotated half of my money into AI, and now my portfolio is much more balanced, much more secure. So rotation it's very important. Rotation is a really important part of portfolio management. What do you guys think? What are you guys rotating? You guys doing any rotation right now?
Yeah, that's kind of like the something that I'm trying to figure out because like I have some uh Google, Microsoft, ServiceNow, and then what else? NVIDIA. So I want to keep those. I'm trying to figure out like for me that was a question of like how what other stocks I can get.
Well,
Um,
I mean, one of the reasons I like Hood is because it's not an AI play. I mean, they are doing some AI stuff, but you can say you can argue that Hood is a completely different sector. So that's one of the reasons why I like putting some money into Hood to help
yeah,
diversify. And then when I say, I sold some Nvidia, I mean I sold like um maybe 1%, 2% in my Nvidia. Very small amount. Very small amount. Um, and then if Hood takes off, right? If Hood goes back to all-time highs or even higher, like maybe it goes to 200 or something, then
yeah,
I'll sell the Hood and then I'll rotate that into crypto. Um, Same thing with ServiceNow. Like I don't think there's any rush to sell. There's no rush to sell all your Nvidia or your ServiceNow or your Microsoft. I think we're going to be doing fine. I think AI is going to do fine for the rest of the year. So there's
yeah.
no,
If you can manage to get your profit out, like some of your profit out of the NVIDIAs and put it somewhere, and then like bring it back in. Like if you can time those things, that's
yeah, yeah. Yeah, so I'm glad you brought this up because I am doing some rotation right now. I am rotating some of my AI into other things like Hood, and I am also I am also buying up Solana and yeah. So I'm glad you brought this up. And like I said, it is a really important part of if you're gonna do passive management of your portfolio, then yeah, you can just buy Bitcoin, Nvidia, Tesla, and then just hold those for 5 years, and you should be fine. But if you're gonna do active management, then rotations are something that you should definitely um, be trying to do, right? You want to stay ahead of the market to protect your profits. But
Yeah.
the most Nvidia I would ever sell is maybe like 15% of my core holding. Same thing with Tesla. Maybe I think the most I'd ever sell is 10% because there's a certain amount of Nvidia I always want to have, and there's a certain amount of Tesla I always want to have. But I will sell, a small amount to rotate into other investments. Same thing with crypto, right? Like let's say there's the next big bull run and Solana goes to $500. I'll probably sell half of my Solana, but I'll always keep like a certain number of Solana. And in Bitcoin, I don't think I'll ever sell Bitcoin, but I'll sell my Ethereum, I'll sell some of my Solana, I'll sell my Link. Um, so yeah, it is something, rotation is something I'm thinking about. What do you think, Abdu? Are you doing any rotation right now?
Um, I'm not. I'm not really doing much right now. I'm just watching. But yeah,
MicroStrategy's holding in there. It's hanging in there, right? Even though I was just talking about how Bitcoin made a new all-time low for 2026, MicroStrategy has not. It has not. It's hanging in there. So we'll see.
yeah.
We'll see if it can make this inverted head and shoulders pattern. Anything else you guys want to anything else about rotations and or what do you guys think? What do you think? What do you think the next big rotation is going to be? Like, where do you think the AI money is going to go? I suggested it goes to crypto, but maybe it goes to other places. What do you guys think?
So per the conversation with ChatGPT earlier, it says that if you look at the timeline,
Hmm.
so in 2021, capital rotated to crypto, meme stocks, ARK style growth. In 2022, it rotated into energy, cash, defensive stocks. And then from 2023 to 2025, says AI infrastructure, NVIDIA, cloud, and mega cap tech. So
Gold, because
gold, yeah.
2025 was a huge. So that's another example of rotation. 2025 was a huge year for gold.
Yeah, but you see the pattern here, like the investment in the energy sector kind of like powered the AI boom.
Yep.
That's kind of what it looks like to me.
Yeah, and see, this is where fundamentals come in because
Yeah.
fundamentals can help us kind of figure out where the rotation's going to be, and then TA can kind of help us figure out and see when it's actually happening. So that's why you got to do both. You got to do fundamentals and TA. So, all right, so maybe we should start looking. We are kind of already looking at energy. Well, I got a few on here, right? I got like Bloom Energy, and then I got a couple of solar panel companies, Sedge and Bloom Energy and Enphase. So we're looking we are watching some of those energy companies that are specifically linked to AI. But maybe there's other sectors we could look at. Maybe that's something to think about in the future, right? Gold. We should also watch
Yeah.
gold for rotations, um, and then gold and silver probably. Um, like I said, though, I think the next rotation at the end of this year is going into crypto, and so that's kind of what I'm getting ready for. But if you guys have any other ideas about rotations you think are coming up, definitely let me know, and we can track them.
Yeah. Um, so with the AI, right?
Yeah.
I think we need to pay attention to the infrastructure of it, right? Like this data center and the energy. When I say energy, it's like the small module nuclear reactors.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
So those type of because those are not, because they have not. I don't think people realize that the AI, it takes they do realize it, but the magnitude is like really really high.
Yeah.
And those things gonna be very pretty soon. They're gonna run.
Yeah.
They're gonna be in high demand.
And one of the things that Elon Musk was talking about for SpaceX, he was saying that SpaceX could make data centers in space because it would cost less energy. They could use solar power from out in space to power these data centers. Now we'll see if that's something that's actually that they're able to do. We'll see how that goes. But you are completely right about the energy. I mean, people used to complain about all the energy that Bitcoin was using. I don't think it's got to be a fraction of what AI uses. You know what? I'm gonna ask Grok right now how much how much energy does Bitcoin use compared to AI. But yeah, here I got the Dell chart up here. So Dell is hardware, right? And you can see they've just gone crazy. And then I'll put the let me put the SMR new. So SMR is down. That's really interesting. That's really interesting. Huh. What do you guys think about
Yeah,
SMR right now?
I would just keep buying that thing.
Do you own any? Do you own any?
I right now no, but I did a while back, and I saw the one it went up.
Yeah, well, you're
But
good. It's good you
this
sold it. It's
is
good you
actually
sold it because it dropped off a
You
lot.
know, I don't understand. It's like uh, how these aircraft carriers are powered by nuclear.
Yeah.
I don't understand why they don't use similar stuff for data centers. I mean, the
They
technology
are.
already exists.
They
I
are.
don't
They
understand it.
are. They are. They are. In fact, I think like even Google's buying like their own nuclear power plants or something. It just takes a while to get the nuclear power plants up and running. And there's a lot
Yeah,
of regulations, right? Like there's a lot of countries that refuse to even build nuclear power plants. Like I think in Europe, they're really anti-nuclear power plant, and I think in the U.S. there's only certain states that do it. It just takes a long time. Um, but yeah, that's why SMR would be has a lot of potential. It has a lot of potential. Um, and then SMR. So Abdu, what's SMR? Are these like fusion reactors? Is that what it is?
I think a small module reactor.
Yeah. Is it fission or
Yeah.
fusion? Do you know?
I don't know the
nah, not Fiji.
difference.
I don't think it's
Uh,
Fiji.
yeah, I don't know the difference, but yeah, it's in that it's in that realm.
Okay. Yeah, so these sound like little reactors, like, yeah, little reactors you can just assemble next to a data center.
Yeah,
Um,
and it's easier to assemble these guys, and also the regulation is kind of it's not too tight on them because well, at least with this administration.
yeah. Um, okay, I'm asking Grok for the comparison in energy usage between Bitcoin and data centers. Not giving me a straight answer. Um, I think it's because, huh? Yeah, I don't know. It's all right. What is it saying? Global electricity zero. Yeah, it's more. It's like 2x the amount. Okay, it says global electricity for Bitcoins between 0.5 and 0.7%, and then data centers right now is like 1.5% going up to 3%. So right now it's like to me it says this is, AI uses 3 times the amount of Bitcoin and it could go up as much as 6 times the
And
amount of
water.
Bitcoin by oh yeah, and then the water for cooling. Yeah. But I think they use really similar technology for processing, right? It's the same type of chips, or it's very similar. Because I know a lot of the Bitcoin miners, they transition to AI, doing AI data centers. It may not be a simple transition, but they use the same infrastructure and the same similar chips. Um, so yeah, it's interesting. Anyway, but yeah, so AI is going to need a ton of power, and
Yeah.
that's
But I
why.
think there's like even though it uses a lot of power, there is a lot of capacity,
Yeah,
and there's going to be a lot of technology built in
yeah,
to make it more efficient, because it's kind of still a developing sector.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what these companies are about, like the Vistras, and all of that stuff. That's kind of what they work on.
I think Sedge was doing some kind of new tech to try and make and the Sedge is a solar panel company. I think they were using some kind of new tech for their transformers, like some kind of like solid. What was it called? I can't remember what it was, but I think they're working on some tech to help make the data centers more efficient also. So yeah, I'm trying to keep an eye on all these different power power plays for AI. So Sedge and Enphase, their solar power, and then Bloom Energy. I think they do. I think Bloom Energy is actually oh, it's not fusion. It's oh, what's the one where you convert like you use water. Um, oh, I can't remember the name. I cannot remember the name. I want to look
The
it up.
hydrogen?
Not hydrogen. Okay, room energy type of power plant. Oh, solid oxide fuel cells. Fuel cells. That's what it is. Yeah, yeah. So that's where you convert like water into energy, and you just get hydrogen and oxygen as a as a product. So yeah, so Bloom Energy, they're working on fuel cells. SMR, they're working on like nuclear power. And then you got Edge and Enphase, they're working on solar. So I think all of these are great ones to watch. Yeah, SMR it
Yeah.
might be in a good position to invest in because it's so far below the 200-day moving average and the 50-week moving average. Whereas like these other ones like Enphase, they're above it, right? I'm actually waiting for Enphase to drop down to the 200-day moving average and the 52-week moving average, and then maybe I'll do something like sell some Nvidia and rotate it into these two. And then Bloom Energy, they're almost like a meme stock. They've gone up so much. So just waiting for it to drop. Yeah, of all those right now, SMR looks like the one that would be the best buy. Because it is really low compared to the other two. Yeah, so we'll watch these. We'll watch these power plays for AI. We'll watch gold and silver. We'll keep an eye on crypto. Um, and then anything else you guys think we need to monitor for rotation, we'll keep an eye on. Um, okay. Anything else you guys want to look at? Any other charts?
Uh,
What's that?
for now, that's it from me.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, same here.
All right, let me stop sharing this. Hold on. Okay, cool. Well, we covered a lot of stuff today.
Yeah.
Let me just close this so we can have our final discussion. All right. All right. Yeah. So we went over a lot of stuff. We talked about the SpaceX IPO. We talked about sector rotation and picking stocks. And then we also reviewed the charts. Um, we'll have to see what happens next week. We'll have to see how the market responds to SpaceX. Hopefully Monday we get a nice green candle. And then maybe we'll get a good week next week. Anything else to look forward to next week, guys? You got anything on the calendar that's coming up? Is there any Fed meeting or anything like that?
I think what's the new Fed chair is gonna, I don't know, it's gonna talk sometime. I don't know when, but it's next week.
Okay, cool. Keep an eye out for that.
Yeah.
All right. And Agalu, anything you're watching right now?
I'm just trying to see like what like the peace deal from the Middle East,
Yeah.
and I think that's gonna,
That'll help. That'll
yeah,
help to
that will
get that
help.
over with. That'll really
Yeah,
help. It's just been a drag on the market for so long. It'll be nice to
yeah, it
get
really
everything out.
is.
And then it's peace, right? Come on, let's stop having wars, right? Let's have peace, and let's have
Yeah.
Ukraine and Russia have peace, and yeah, yeah. So pray for peace. Um, all right. Thanks a lot, guys. Thanks. And yeah, we'll have another live stream next week. You guys have a good week. Enjoy the weather, and
You too.
that's it. All right. Thanks, guys.
Okay, bye.
Bye bye.